Let me guess, you keep hearing that you should be using AI in your business, but most explanations make it feel like you need new tools, new software, and a whole lot more time. Today, I want to show you something different. I'm going to walk you through 3 real examples from my business where I use AI and automation inside tools that I already pay for. This is not going to be a step-by-step tutorial, but it will help you start thinking differently about what's possible in your own systems. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Megan, the Solopreneur COO. I'm a fractional COO and keynote speaker. I help simplify, automate, and streamline business systems so you can eliminate friction and grow with ease. This way of thinking, focusing on how systems work together instead of adding more tools, is exactly what I help my clients do every day. Before we jump in, I want to be clear about what this video is and what it's not. This is not going to be a step-by-step tutorial. I'm not going to be walking through every click and every setting. The goal here is clarity, not complexity. I want you to understand the logic behind these workflows so you can start spotting opportunities inside your own tools. One of the things I focus on a lot, and it's actually the AI prompt of the month in my calendar if you have it, and it's how to use AI as a lens. So instead of asking, what new tool do I need? I want you asking, what am I already doing manually that could be supported or simplified with the tools I already have? That question alone can uncover huge efficiency wins. Let me show you what I mean using 3 examples from my own business. So this first example is going to start when a client signs a contract with me. I use Course Creator 360, which is a white label of Go High Level. There's 1,000 different white labels of this platform. So when a client signs a contract, what happens is that's the trigger that is going into my workflow. So here's some workflow triggers that I have for my one-on-one clients. And here's the automation that I can create using my platform that I already have. I go through here, and so here's the trigger. And what it does is it creates the contact in my CRM. It adds a tag. It removes the lead tag. But it also has this thing called a webhook. And this particular webhook is an automation that creates a client-specific Google Drive folder in the right place in my Google Drive. Like, how cool is that, right? So I'm not going to walk through every step of how it's built. But what matters is the thinking behind it. Instead of trying to think through, okay, how do I remember to do that step every time? I'm asking, well, why is this manual at all? And so this is where AI comes in. So I go to Pam. Pam is my personal assistant for Megan. She's my chat GPT. And I plug in to Pam saying, here's what I'm trying to achieve. Is this even possible? Here's the 2 platforms that I'm wanting to talk to each other. And sometimes it'll say, nope, that's not an option. But in this case, it said, yeah, using a webhook, here's the code. And it gives me the full code that I can copy and paste, and I follow the steps that it tells me. And then I trial and error it. And sometimes I'm like, well, it kind of worked, but it gave me an error. So then I go through and I have to go back and forth and tweak it a little bit. And what happens is that I use ChatGPT to help me think through that logic so then I can build it directly inside my 2 platforms. I'm using AI as a support tool to speed up my system design. This is also how I'm avoiding paying for Zapier because my platform, Go High Level, offers this service, so might as well maximize it, right? Okay, so now let's move on to example 2. This second example is similar, but it removes a surprising amount of friction. I have it that whenever a new contact is added to my Go High Level, whether it be from filling out an inquiry form or maybe they scheduled a networking one-to-one appointment, I want that person to automatically appear in my phone contacts, which is Google Contacts. So that way, whenever they call or text me, I know who they are. For the privacy of my contact phone numbers, I can't do a screen share of this one showing you all the things, but you can follow the same logic as the one before. I use my Go High Level workflow automation that comes included in my software, and then I use ChatGPT to help me figure out how to get the two to talk to each other. So this is what I'm trying to get you to think about. If you ever find yourself searching for information that you already have somewhere in your business tools, that is a systems opportunity that you can use AI to help you ask better questions about where and how those connections could maybe work together. Or that's kind of when you call me. All right, I have one more example for you. Okay, so this last example ties directly into real life and how I actually move through the day. When I'm out networking, which I do a lot of, I would find that I would collect all these business cards or lists of attendees, and then nothing would happen with that if I had to go do something else right after. And so I used my existing software to now capture my networking notes, and it even snaps a picture of their business card. It adds that person to my contacts, not my email subscriber list, but my general contact list. And then it drafts an email for me that already has all the generic verbiage with like my opt-in links and an invitation to connect. And that way I could still go in and customize it a little more before I send it out. And actually, this particular networking form, I also have as a Google form version that I originally used before I now have this system that has it included. So if you were interested in that, you could go get it on my website in the digital download section. So I'll link it below. But here's the thing. This didn't start as a tech build. It started with the question that I asked ChatGPT. Where do I normally have breakdowns after a networking event? And how can I use these 4 platforms that I already have to help me maybe bridge that gap? So AI is going to help you think through those workflows before you even start touching the tools. You have to at least identify what you need the help with. All 3 of these examples came from the same mindset shift I shared in this month's calendar prompt. So instead of asking AI to do the work for you, use it to help you see your systems differently. Ask it. I gave you a specific prompt and you can get it from the blog, but ask it, where am I repeating myself? What feels heavier than it should? What am I doing manually just because I always have? That's where the real efficiency lives. And remember, you do not need to solve everything today. You just need to start seeing what's possible. And if you want help uncovering those opportunities in your own business, that's exactly what I do with my clients. If this was helpful, let me know in the comments which tool you're curious about optimizing next, and I'll see you in the next video.